This will be the last video for today that I'm going to put. I've got some containers here I've just planted. I've got some eggplant. I've got spinach in the middle. I've got some Swiss chard and actually a couple of cuttings from other trees I'm trying to root. Same for here as well. Little spinach in the middle, Swiss chard, and the last 3 eggplant I have. And there are various varieties. Like Black Beauty, I've got some Casper, and Rosita. And here, this bed, it will be coming here pretty soon and putting down our cucumbers. And on this side here as well, it's going to be the same thing. Except for I've got a few peppers in and out throughout here. Cucumbers will go as well. Once they're all established, I'll plant some beans in the middle. And those beans will actually give the rest of the smaller plants a little bit of boost with some nitrogen. On the back side here, I've got my blueberries. They don't look like much right now. They're starting to get some foliage coming back. I've got 1 or 2 that are starting to do really good. Waiting for that soil, because this bed was just planted to be a little more acidic, and you'll start seeing some growth. And right here, my wife has some milkweed, which are actually great for pollinators. And I've got some rhubarb in containers, and when these crowns go dormant during the fall, we'll transplant those. A couple of other seedlings up here that still have yet to go out. A couple of peppers. I've got some squash. A couple of little tomatoes left. Little Tiny Tom here. This is a porch tomato, basically. Makes these little small cherry tomatoes that are really, really, really good. Now getting to the other side of the garden with our raised beds, as you can see, I have sugar snap peas that are going to be crazy. I've got still cilantro that's going, waiting to go to bolt. Got a couple of brassicas throughout in here. A couple of squash that are just planted. Some dill all along in here. And in this bed over here, it's not all fully come up yet, but I've got some corn planted. And interplanted in between, I've got 1 that's up so far. I've got some bush beans to add some nitrogen. We've cleared out most of this bed. We still have some lettuce going. I'm going to let some of it go to seed, like this one's already getting close. A couple of strands of dill left. And this is actually arugula that is bolted. The minute it reached 80 degrees, it got extremely hot. But I wanted to get some more seed out of it. And it's good for the pollinators. And I've got this dill over here that you see has got really, really stocky. We're going to use that and preserve it to make some pickles here pretty soon. This bed is mostly spent. I've got a couple of onions left in it. Some brassicas. I'm going to let it do what it's got to do. And I've got another row of tomatoes that's going to be coming in here on this bed pretty soon. I've got some more eggplant along this side that are actually really starting to take off a little bit even after putting them down a couple of days. And I've got some lettuce on this row here. And on the other side, I've got planted, hope it doesn't get too hot, I've got some kohlrabi that's coming up. Now, on this last bed here, coming up, I've got carrots still left to pull, which we've pulled quite a few, and they're doing really good. Little tray there for the bees to come and get some water. And our curled mustard and collard greens are still going. They're almost done. As you can see, some of these have come up to flower. We want to let this self-seed in this bed as well. More arugula over here. And then this last bed that's covered might be a little hard to see, but I've got squash planted throughout here. 1 about every 1.5 feet or so. And yeah, that's pretty much what the garden looks like right now. If you guys like this type of content, if this is something that you find interesting, or if you got questions about something, please post them in the comments. and I'll be glad to answer your questions.